Jacinda Ardern is promising to run the campaign of our lives after becoming Labor's youngest ever leader. Moving at uncharacteristically high speed, Labor completely changed its leadership team this morning following 3 disastrous political polls in very quick succession. So Andrew Little is out and the 37-year-old Mount Albert MP takes the reins of an embattled Labor Party just 7.5 weeks out from the general election. Our Deputy Political Editor Chris Bramwell was at Parliament as the hectic day unfolded.
Andrew Little arrived at Wellington Airport on an overcast morning, clearly still hoping to end the day as Labor Party leader.
Are you going to hand in a resignation? Are you going to offer your resignation?
No, I think those issues are for a separate discussion, and the caucus will have a good discussion about it.
Cool, so you're not going to offer a vote of confidence or anything like that?
No, there's none that I'm aware of, and I'm certainly not putting one up.
And so what are you going to say about your leadership at the moment to people who are wondering about what's going on?
These are matters for a caucus to have a talk about. They clearly want to have that discussion.
But just 90 minutes later, the former union boss gathered the media to the second floor of Parliament House to deliver this message.
I've just confirmed to the Labor caucus that I will step aside as leader of the Labor Party. There's no question that the poll results that came out last week, an internal poll, the Colmar-Brunton poll, the Reid poll, were disturbing and very, very disappointing. In the end, as leader, you have to take responsibility, and I have and I do.
Andrew Little nominated his deputy Jacinda Ardern to replace him, and an hour later it was a done deal. Ms Ardern and her deputy Kelvin Davis were elected unopposed. Mr Davis is Labour's first Māori deputy leader. Normally Labour leadership contests take weeks, but because this has happened in the run-up to election day, all it took was a majority vote of the party's caucus. As the new leadership team addressed the media, the first thing Jacinda Ardern did was pay tribute to her predecessor.
His announcement today and the situation we have found ourselves in is not what anyone expected or wanted. In my time working with Andrew, I know one thing to be true. He is first and foremost loyal to Labour.
Jacinda Ardern says she and her team will take the next 72 hours to reflect and take stock of the election campaign plan. The 3-term MP who grew up in Murupara and Morrinsville insists she has what it takes to be the next Prime Minister.
I've had nigh on 20 years of experience working in and around politics, but I also bring with me a pretty diverse rural background. Granted, I am a young proposition for the party, but this team has worked alongside me for 9 years. They have faith in me, and I absolutely believe I'm up to the job.
In her first press conference as leader, Jacinda Ardern was confident, clear and personable. She was also witty, delivering several quick one-liners. She was asked whether Labour's relationship with other parties might change under her leadership, including what her message was to New Zealand First Leader Winston Peters.
I like single malts. Look, I mean, it's true. I guess the point I'm trying to make is that, we'll find our common ground. You won't hear a lot of conversation about that from us in the election campaign. We're going to be focused on Labour, and our clear message to voters is that if they want some assurance that National won't be in charge after the election, then the surest way to guarantee that is a vote with Labour.
Jacinda Ardern says there will be no change to the Memorandum of Understanding that Labour has with the Greens. On his way into Parliament, the Prime Minister Bill English told reporters that his party always respected the Leader of the Opposition.
This is someone who in a matter of months could be Prime Minister, and in the context of the current election campaign, we need to lift our levels of support to win an election with Jacinda Ardern as Leader of the Opposition.
Do you think she could be Prime Minister?
Well, under MMP, every election is tight. And, in current polling, we don't have enough levels of support to form the kind of government that we think New Zealand needs. So we've got a lot of hard work to do, whether it's, Andrew Little or Jacinda Ardern.
Minutes later in question time, Mr English and Ms Ardern faced off for the first time, with the new Labour leader trying to push the Prime Minister on housing.
Supplementary question, Jacinda Ardern.
Supplementary. If the government has responded as he claims, why for every family he expected to request an emergency housing grant did 20 turn up? Does that mean the homelessness problem is far bigger than he accepts?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Well, Mr Speaker, that's all old news. That all happened last winter when the grants were put in place, and it turned out there was strong demand for the grants.
Jacinda Ardern has a tough road ahead, with just 7.5 weeks until polling day. She needs to not only try to turn around her party's downward trend in the polls, but also get ready for the rough and tumble of an election campaign and prepare to debate the Prime Minister numerous times in live debates. The party machine also has a lot of work to do behind the scenes, but Labour says it does have enough money to change all its billboards, which currently picture Jacinda Ardern and Andrew Little. Atu i te whare pārimata mō te hōtaka o te ahiahi nei, ko Chris Bramwell ahau.